This time on Warlords, Nate runs his space puppies all over the map, and Brian unleashes the Vault. Warhammer 40,000 like you've never seen before. This is Warlords Battle Reports. Leading the Sons of Russ and one of humanity's greatest defenders, Nate commands the Space Wolves.
Kind of thinking that I'm going to completely ignore the super heavy at first and try to kill up his basic warrior units and hopefully free me up to catch those objectives towards the end of the game.
He faces the Immortal Overlords in their Tesseract Vault, Brian's Necron Army.
Well, Nate likes to get up in personal really fast, so you're going to want to make sure that you're trying to at least get yourself an extra round of shooting. Normally he's on you at turn 2. He's also going to be dropping drop pods on me, which generally if they're coming on me, they're not on the objectives, so it'll be interesting to see where he puts them.
The mission Big Guns is selected with 5 objectives. The board is set and the armies are deployed. It's time for war. Turn 1. Brian pushes his Tomb Blades, Immortals, and Lich Guard forward, while his massive Tesseract Vault moves into position and unleashes its fury on the Space Wolves, killing 2 Thunderwolves and injuring a Wolf Lord. Other than the Vault, the rest of the Necrons proved to be more pretty than effective, not causing any more pain on the Wolves. Nate looks to the skies for vengeance, and his drop pods arrive right next to the Vault, where 2 squads of Grey Hunters jump out with 1 melt-a-gun in each squad. His Thunderwolves, Iron Priest, and Wolf Lords start making their move around the river. Nate's melt-a-guns cause no damage, and Brian's Tesseract has at least 1 more turn to unleash the Catan. Turn 2. Brian continues to push his Tomb Blades forward to seek out Nate's Whirlwind tank hiding behind the runes. His Vault then moves forward, and he pulls the Sky of Falling Stars card, knocking out a 3rd Thunderwolf. This monstrosity isn't done though. The moving prison cell then targets the Grey Hunters, eviscerating the melt-a-guns. Unfazed, Nate's Wolves move in position to attack the Tesseract. He also drops in another squad of Grey Hunters from reserves. His Wolves charge into the Vault. The Warlord deals the final blow, and Nate gets first blood and 3 more points for killing a super heavy. But the catastrophic explosion kills his Warlord, giving Brian a point also.
It was definitely interesting. So the game's kind of blown itself open. Nate's down to just a few units. However, he still has 3 Thunderwolves that happen to be characters. We're gonna have to see how that goes. I know that those guys can be pretty dangerous.
All of my units are thinned down quite a bit, but I'm hoping to do some good assaults and maybe tie up some of the shooty units so I can maybe last to the end of the game.
Turn 3. Brian's Tomb Blades finally reach Nate's very ineffective Whirlwind tank in hopes of getting a point in this big gun scenario. Better in theory than reality, they cause little damage. He also pushes his Lich Guard unit straight at the newly arrived Hunter's squad. The Immortals decide to get in the action and destroy one of the 3 Grey Hunter squads. The Lich Guard wipes out their foe, leaving only 1 unit of Hunters left. Nate's limited remaining army says the hell with it and charges at their enemy. The Hunter squad, once tucked neatly in the forest, charges a full squad of Immortals. Predictions, anybody? He also splits up his Wolves, sending an Iron Priest towards the Tomb Blades and the other 2 towards the Lich Guard. The Whirlwind finally deals a devastating blow. Well, he did wreck a drop pod, too bad it was his own. Things get even worse when his Iron Priest gets mowed down by the Tomb Blades in Overwatch. On the bright side, his last cannons managed to blow up the Doomsday Ark for another victory point, granting him a 4-point lead heading into Turn 4. The Necron warriors in reserve finally decide to come on the board. The Necron Annihilation Barge wrecks the Whirlwind, and Brian inches closer on the scoreboard. In the assault phase, the Lich Guard is facing the powerful Wolves. In the ensuing melee, Brian's own Necron Warlord is defeated. Nate, seemingly still interested in going for broke, pulls out his Vindicare Assassin from cover. It really hasn't been worth mentioning until now, after shooting blanks all game. Nate also decides to charge the Immortals with his Hunters, and they are killed in Overwatch. The last cannons fire across the board and blow up a barge, granting Nate another point. In the assault phase, the Necrons cause 2 wounds on the Iron Priest. Turn 5. With few Space Wolves left on the board, Brian's Necrons start making their move towards the 5 objectives. The Necron warriors light up the Vindicare assassin before he can cause any damage, and in the assault phase, the Space Wolves Iron Priest falls under the wave of the Lich Guard. With no scoring units left for Nate, Brian is declared the victor, winning with a final tally of 12-7.
In the end, it came down to a lot of luck with the Overwatch on the Iron Priest, because that would have taken out the bikes and probably run roughshod through another heavy support. He kept taking out all of my heavy supports.
It's a tougher loss. It's always fun to play Brian. Necrons, man, they just don't die.
Make sure you like our Facebook page and visit our website, warlordsbattlereports.com. Thanks for watching.